Okay, the next match was the tag team title contest, and this was the quickest turnaround of the night. The bell for the tag team title match started only 14 minutes after the end of the previous match. So they were moving there. And I just noticed him and I couldn't take my eyes off him. I don't know if he always does this, if I don't pay attention, what show he's on or whatever, but the ring announcer. Rare WWE mistake. They let him dress like an indie clown, and he's got the weird hair, and he's got to be 6'5" anyway. So he looked like some kind of game show host out there doing a special ring announcer spot. But does this fucking idiot dress like that all the time? And I haven't noticed.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, Christ. All right. Well, I'd fire him. He's not a goddamn performer. He's a ring announcer. He's
well,
not.
You can tell him to dress differently. You don't have to fire him.
I'd fire him for not knowing his place and showing up like that. The fuck's the matter with you? You think you're the fucking star around here? Get the fuck out of here. Ring announcer should be heard and only seen to be heard.
Should Howard Finkel have been allowed to express himself instead of just wearing a tuxedo?
No. Every once in a while there has been a local personality that could get away. Boyd Pierce, because everybody knew him and everybody loved him, and he was the folksy fella, and he could get away with something like that. But you don't want just every generic fucking nitwit announcer that you've got dressing like a goddamn one of the boys. They're not gimmicks. They're fucking announcers. This guy's hair anyway, he ought to be fucking beaten about the head and face. Anyway, so it was the WWE Tag Team title, Damian Priest and Finn Balor against Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. And again, I honestly would have skipped this, but there's only 4 matches on the fucking show because apparently they didn't want to fly anybody over to Australia to fill this card out. And I'll watch it for a tag team match just to see the performance, because again, I mentioned this before, the Hart Foundation, the Rockers, the Bulldogs, the Steiners, the Road Warriors, the Midnight Express, the Rock and Roll Express, Tully Blanchard, and Arn Anderson, Dimmalate, on and on and on and on and on. And there's Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. They ruined Pete Dunne when Vince was still there, and he went through his Charles Dickens fetish phase and made him butch. And I don't see how you recover from that. And Tyler Bate, yeah, they were all working hard, and he's a wonderful young little athlete, but he looks like Fuzzy Cupid. He made Finn Balor look like a fucking giant. And the short legs and odd-shaped torso, these Bate and Dunne, I'm sure they could do well on the UK independent scene. They could be probably great talents for an Impact or, high-level indie tag team, because they do nice stuff. But look at them. They don't have a gimmick. They don't have a look. As I said, Tyler Bate reaches up when he hits the ropes to get his arm over it. And their name is the New Catch Republic. What the fuck is that? That sounds like a Czechoslovakian fucking political group.
Well, catch wrestling, right?
No, nobody knows that. And what does that have to do with the Republic? And why are they new? Was there an old Catch Republic? They're microcasting to their indie niche UK indie show fucking audience. And, so that's... Anyway, Damian Priest looked like Andre in the middle of this. And it looked like a squash match where they forgot to tell the jobbers that they were getting squashed. And then at that point, it transitioned to a lot of action, basically to prove that Finn and Priest can't beat preliminary guys. And then it just... They went false finish after false finish, and they kicked out of more of the heel shit. And finally, Priest and Finn were going to double team the guy where Priest had him up for a power bomb, and Finn was going to come off the top rope or whatever. and Bate Hurricane Rana's Priest toward the turnbuckle where Finn is on, and it's going to be like Priest headbutts Finn in the nuts and crotches him, but Priest stumbled because the guy went down with him. So he had to crawl on his hands and knees and then stand up under Finn Balor and nut him on purpose with his head because they were getting too complicated, doing shit they can't do smoothly to try to get these guys over when it's a fucking lost cause, a moot point, and a goddamn fool's errand. Because the only people that like Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne in this presentation are the fans that they've got from England that liked them when they were a big deal over there. They're not a big deal here. And the state of tag team wrestling. Anyway, the babyfaces double team Priest to death in front of the referee. Finn disappeared for a good while, but then finally, Priest double choke slammed both of them, and Finn came off the top with the double stomp to Pete Dunne in 18 minutes. 18 minutes of a glorified TV match. So I don't know what was worst about this show is that either the matches, once they ended, it took forever to get the next one started, or once that match got started, it would never fucking end. Your thoughts?
I can't add too much to that. The sunset was gorgeous during this match. Whenever they had the wide shot and you got to see the sky, oh, it was just magical. And the match, I mean, they have a tag team division with very few main event kind of teams. You know, if you look at the 80s, just WWF, not even talking about what you guys were doing. Heart Foundation, Demolition, Killer Bees, British Bulldogs, Islanders, fucking Conquistadors, anyone. Everyone was like a big-sized athlete. You know, it does stand out. You said what I thought at one point when Bate was there next to Finn Balor, who is a smaller guy. He looks so much bigger than him. It's hard to even figure out how tall the guy must be. Is he 5'4"? I don't know, but
Google Fuzzy Cupid, kids.
I think a lot of the guys who have been in the NXT system for a while are getting their shot on the main roster, whether it's Gargano and Ciampa or these two guys, and I thought Butch was working pretty good, actually, for him. We'll see.